The Catholic Church has a new pope. On day 2 of the conclave, you can see the white smoke started pouring out of the Sistine Chapel's chimney just after noon Eastern time. Cardinal Robert Prevost is chosen to lead the followers of the Catholic faith, making history as the first American pope. Sister Mary McCormick with the Ursuline Sisters of Youngstown is back with us right now at 5 to share her reaction. I feel like you were just here, so that went quickly.
Yeah.
Yes, so he's going to go by the name Leo the 14th. Tell us, what was your initial reaction when you heard this announcement?
Well, my initial reaction was surprise that he was an American. I think most people were surprised it was an American, although I understand he's really done most of his ministry, or much of his ministry, outside of the United States, making him a really global citizen. But the second surprise was his name, Pope Leo the 14th.
And why is that?
Well, that means there have been 13 others who've been named Leo. So we can go way back in history. Leo the First was in the 5th century. And often Leo the First is called Saint Leo the Great, Pope Leo the Great, because more than probably anybody else, he's the one that kind of put together the city of Rome after there had been an invasion and kind of the Roman Empire fell apart. It was Pope Leo the First, Pope Leo the Great, that pulled it back together. So there's a really strong line of Leos. And then the most recent Leo until today is Pope Leo the 13th. He was the end of the 19th century. And of the things that Leo the 13th was most noted for is he's the one who really began to write about Catholic social teaching. He was very concerned about things like child labor, about workers, what you would call it the late 19th century workers' rights, but not exploiting workers in factories, which were, relatively new at the time.
Do we know much about the scale of where he may fall compared to Pope Francis, where he stands on issues? And I know politics is not necessarily where they go, but religion does intersect.
Sure, sure. I can't say for sure, and now that he's the Pope, we'll see that. But I will say this. That he has spent a lot of his ministry in Peru. He was the bishop of a diocese in Peru. Gives you a sense that he's concerned about many of the same things that would have been concerns of Pope Francis. Pope Francis, coming from Argentina and being concerned about the poor, migrants, the church that has kind of been on the edges. Our new Pope Leo the 14th, he has spent most of his ministry, or much of his ministry, in Peru, and those would be some of his same concerns.
How long it took them? It took them 2 days, just like Pope Francis. Were you surprised by that?
Well, since about Leo the 13th, the longest time there's been a conclave is about 5 days, and it's typically 2 or 3, so I wasn't really surprised. I figured it would be today or tomorrow. One of the things, since they didn't all know each other very well, this current pope, one of his jobs most recently has been in the office to choose new bishops. He was an advisor to Pope Francis to choose new bishops. And so lots of the bishops and cardinals around the world would have gotten to know him in that process. And
I have to ask, do you believe the Pope is going to visit the U.S.? He's an American. You would expect he'd come home.
I imagine. He's originally from Chicago. And of course, the Archdiocese of Chicago is one of the largest in the United States. I am sure everybody in Chicago is just elated. And I'm sure he'll visit the United States, and particularly Chicago.
What's the energy around with the Ursuline Sisters today? You're sharing your thoughts, your reactions. What's the biggest takeaway?
Well, I have to tell you, the white smoke came out just at lunchtime, which was perfect because everybody was gathered in the dining room, and we brought in a TV so everybody could watch it, and of course nobody left lunch.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat the whole lunch today. There's so much happening.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I really appreciate all your expertise and you guiding us through this process. It's been a learning experience, but also very exciting to see, what's going to happen next.
Well, thank you very much. It was a good time to talk about it.
Thank you.